Hi, my name is Katie Howard, and I am going to be talking about Joseph Renzulli's theory of giftedness. He's commonly known for the three ring conception of giftedness. Before I get into that, first I'm going to talk about how he would define what giftedness is. He breaks giftedness up into two main parts, the schoolhouse giftedness and creative productive giftedness. The schoolhouse giftedness he would define as, having a higher IQ, taking tests well, what we as educators would think of as those A students. And then also a creative, productive giftedness, which are students who have ideas, acting on them, and finding a solution to a current issue or problem. He talks about how both types are important. There usually is an interaction between both, and that gifted programs should encourage both types. He also did some case studies about individuals like Einstein, Thomas Edison, Walt Disney, and even a Nobel Prize winner, and how some of these individuals that he did case studies on did not necessarily have maybe a higher IQ or even take tests well in school. Maybe some of their teachers didn't even believe that they would go on to be productive, intelligent citizens in their community or even considered a genius. But these are individuals that had this high creative, productive giftedness. They had ideas, acted on them, and um, made change in some way, a productive change to society. He also talks about developing giftedness. He calls it the OR model. OR stands for opportunities, resources, engagement, and engagement within a child's interest. Um, he This theory views giftedness as something we can develop in certain people at certain times and under certain circumstances. So he calls this the enrichment triad model. He talks about how all young people should have the opportunity for enrichment, not just students who have a high IQ, and how we can develop gifted behaviors in all students and see how they respond and perform to maybe what's he would consider a type 1 enrichment, and if they should move on to type 2 or type 3. I will briefly go into those types. Type 1 is general exploratory activity. So this kind of goes into that opportunities section. This is when we expose young people to different issues and topics that might turn a child on to go further into it. And if they respond well to that type, then we're going to go to type 2, which is group training activities. This relates to a broad range of thinking like research, reference, creative problem solving, tools that are highly creative, productive people use to do their work. We should be providing these to all young people. And then type 3, which is individual and small group investigations of real problems. So he talks about how there's 4 characteristics that make a problem real. So first, we need to personalize their interest. We need to have authentic methodology to investigate it, that there is no single predetermined correct answer, and that there should be some sort of audience other than their teacher. So, like entering something into a science fair or presenting to an audience. That is kind of how he would explain that enrichment triad model. He also talks about the purposes of gifted education is to provide students with maximum opportunities for self-fulfillment in an area of strength and to increase individuals in society who will help solve current world issues and contribute to society. So this kind of goes back to that creative, productive giftedness would be being productive and contributing to society, being a doer rather than just a consumer. So one of his purposes and goals of gifted education is to increase the individuals in our society to help solve some of our world problems and issues. All right, now I'm going to go into the 3 ring conception of giftedness. That there are 3 parts that I have kind of mentioned in earlier. One of them is the well above average ability. This is again our students who have a high capacity to process new information. Their general ability, IQ, would fall into this. Their task commitment, so a refined, focused form of motivation, endurance, and perseverance that leads to action. Again, usually this would be in one's interest or a specific ability. Then their creativity, thinking outside the box, having unique ideas, and solving problems more than just one way. He talks about how gifted behavior consists of thought and action resulting from an interaction among these three basic clusters of human traits: the above average ability, the task commitment, high levels of task commitment, and high levels of creativity. He says children who manifest or are capable of developing an interaction among the three clusters require a wide variety of educational opportunities, resources, and encouragement above and beyond those ordinarily provided through regular instruction programs. I hope this helped and gives you a good idea of Joseph Renzulli's three-ring conception of giftedness.